HSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A good karma Brands radio station.
Michael K. is on the radio today, and he ain't afraid to say what he's thinking. It's the Michael K. Show on 880 ESPN Radio.
And a good afternoon, everybody. This is indeed the Michael K. Show. We thank you for joining us on this Monday. It's October 27th. It's 2025. Hope you had a great weekend. The Jets had a pretty good weekend. The Giants had an awful, awful weekend. Just terrible. And we'll break it down for the people. So, and the first thing we're going to start off with would be the passing of Nick Mangold, 41 years old, just 2 weeks after he had, made the world know that he was having kidney issues, that he needed a transplant, and then gone so soon after that. The times that we dealt with him on the afternoon show, he was just a joy. He was, full of life. What an awful expression after what happened yesterday. Always happy. Always had a quick quip. Obviously an outstanding football player as well. It startles you when you hear someone 41 years old, a former athlete, passes that quickly, but he had supposedly had a rough summer dealing with this ailment, and then he passes away yesterday. Just awful, awful news. So our condolences go out to the Jet family and obviously Nick's family and his children as well. It's just hard to wrap your mind around the fact that Nick Mangold, with that ever-present smile and that joie de vivre, is no longer with us. So just sad stuff. Really, really sad stuff. You can't say that the Jets won for Nick Mangold yesterday, but the fact that they did win, it gives something positive for the organization to feel after just an awful day. Awful day. Everyone around the Jets loved Mangold. They really did. It was tough not to like him. He was that sort of guy. And the Jets came into this game having lost their first 7 games of the year, and then they win 39-38 over the Bengals. And I'm kind of glad that Justin Fields had the game that he had. I really am. Because Woody Johnson threw him under the bus for no reason whatsoever in a very awkward, clunky attempt to, defend Aaron Glenn. He said, he's doing a good job if our quarterback can only complete a pass. Well, in the last 3 games, there were 20 sacks allowed. Now, we can say, well, a lot of it had to do with him holding onto the ball too long. Let's just say that some of it had to do with that. And one thing that I had said over and over and over again, and a lot of people did not agree with me, I would not have started Tyrod Taylor. Now, the reason that Taylor didn't start, his knee's in bad shape. He didn't even make the trip. So he was not there to start. And the bottom line is they started Justin Fields out of necessity, out of urgency. They had to have a quarterback. You can't play a game without a quarterback. So they went with Fields. And it was kind of smart in retrospect what Aaron Glenn did, because he never said during the week who was going to start. He knew that Taylor's knee was in bad shape, so why commit to Taylor and then have to scratch him and then have to go to Fields anyway? He never committed to Taylor. Now, there were stories out there that Taylor was going to get the start and that Fields was going to be benched. And you knew that Fields was going to be benched if Taylor was healthy, because the owner pretty much said, the guy can't play. The guy can't play. Now, I never understood starting Taylor. You know what you have in Taylor. Now, you can say, well, we know what we have with Justin Fields. After 7 games, you're not going to give the guy a chance to show you something? There's a lot more information to be gleaned by starting Justin Fields than by starting Tyrod Taylor. There's a lot more. We know what Tyrod Taylor is. He's a career backup. He'll give you a couple of games in a row if you need him to start. He's not great. He's going to throw a lot of interceptions, more so since he's gotten older. And at least with Fields, maybe there's something there that they saw. I know he wasn't successful with the Bears, and he was 4-2 with the Steelers. So there has to be something there. We know that he can run. So they had to go with Justin Fields, and that was the move anyway. I would not have started Taylor. I would have continued to run out Fields. Now, people kept saying, well, they do need a win. Okay, now they have a win. I don't know what that means. Now they have a win, followed by a bye week, And that's exactly what they need to just reset. And Aaron Glenn spoke today. He didn't say that Fields was going to start. He said that's what a bye week is for. Why would you not start Fields? Why? If you look at Fields' numbers yesterday, he was 21 for 32, 244 yards and a TD. And he had great help from the running game. Breece Hall, 133 yards, 2 TDs on 18 carries, 502 yards of offense, 254 on the ground. The offensive line, which had allowed 20 sacks in 3 games, did not allow one yesterday. Not one. Not one. So I'm glad for Justin Fields. And he showed his vulnerability after the game. He said that he actually was lying on the floor in his closet in his house crying over, the Jets not winning. He said he didn't feel sorry for himself. He's a man of faith, and, he thinks that God has a plan for him. But the bottom line is he went out on the field and he performed. He was challenged by the owner. He was embarrassed by the owner. And you know what? Now, Woody should be embarrassed. Because Woody can't sit there and take credit for motivating Justin Fields. Justin Fields can motivate himself. If anything, you could have taken the heart out of a lesser person. You could have completely crushed the spirit of a lesser person. But this guy had his best game. He played well against the Steelers in the first game, but this is better. And he had been awful. There's nobody denying that he's been awful. He has been absolutely brutal all year. But there's something there. Guy was a former first-round draft pick. There's something there. Benching him didn't make any sense. And I said it last week, so I'm not like piling on after he has a good game. Why? There's more questions that you can have answered with Fields than any that you would have about Taylor. There are no questions about Taylor. We know what he is. Let's just say, for kicks and giggles, that Fields goes off on a run now. Oh, maybe you don't have to think about drafting a quarterback. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Fields is the answer. But there's so much more to peel back and see exactly what you're doing with this guy. Instead, you want to just get rid of him. Just get rid of him. You would have completely neutered him if you benched him. But the football gods act in mysterious ways. Taylor couldn't play. Fields gets a chance, and Fields shows that there's something there. There's something there. Now, with the Jets, you can't totally have a celebration of a victory because, one thing that you have to look at, their defense was atrocious. Atrocious. They allowed Cincinnati 398 yards, 5 touchdowns. So when you have to score 39 points and you win by 1, you know how bad the defense was. But there's some wins out there for the Jets. I mean, I laughed when people said, no, they were probably going to go winless. Well, how? In the NFL, there's so many bad teams. There's so many teams that lay eggs every now and then. How are they going to go winless? So they beat the Bengals. Then they have a bye week. They have a winnable game after that. Nobody's saying that they're going to go 10-7. We're not stupid. They're not going to make the playoffs. But maybe they could show something. It was good to see Aaron Glenn finally smile. Team lifted him up. Post-game, this is a guy who was going through a lot. Trying to change a culture. Didn't do a good job of it. Hasn't coached well. Nobody is putting lipstick on a pig here. He has not done a great job whatsoever. But maybe a victory puts them on the right path. And a victory without Sauce Gardner and without Garrett Wilson. 2 of their better players. Not there. And they still won 39-38. That's about as big a win as you could have when your season is shot. Because the only way to implement what you believe in, to implement the things that you think turn a team into a winning team, is to have a victory to back it up. All of a sudden, the ears are a little more open. Why are you listening to a guy if you're 0-8? What's he preaching? Is he preaching anything that's applicable? No, you need wins in order to make it work. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. So congratulations to Aaron Glenn, his first victory as the Jets head coach. Jets win 39-38. So as bad as we were feeling about the Jets and as good as we were feeling about the Giants, I'm not saying it's flipped because you still can't feel great about the Jets. They have a lot of unsettled business when it comes to quarterback. But the Giants, wow, they did not rebound well from completely spitting up that victory that they had against the Broncos by allowing the game to get away in the fourth quarter. They beat the Eagles 17 days ago, convincingly, at MetLife. And yesterday, the Eagles embarrassed them, 38-20. The Giants didn't play well in any facet of the game. And adding injury to injury, they lose Cam Skattebo. Horrific injury in the second quarter. Horrific. Hard to look at. 8:11 to go, and the guy's ankle was pointing another way. Just brutal. He's one of the engines that make the Giants go. And you can see the utter disgust and sickening look on the face of Jackson Dart with his buddy going down like that. Also, the Giants lost what had been a very effective weapon for them. That was tough to watch. Jalen Hurts, 4 passing touchdowns, who's suddenly playing very, very well. Can't wait to talk to Chris Sims on Thursday because I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts fan, but if you look at Jalen Hurts' numbers, not too bad. Jackson Dart, 14 for 24, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a 68-yard touchdown to Darius Slayton that was called back for offensive pass interference. Now, a lot of people are talking about, the officials were terrible in this game. And they weren't good. But is that why the Giants lost? I thought they made a terrible call on the Thibodeau recovery of a fumble on the tush push. Because here's one thing that I would talk to the officials about. If you say forward progress was stopped, then it wasn't a first down. And if you say you got a first down for reaching, this is not the goal line. That doesn't end the play. So if you're going to let him reach and reach and reach to get the first down, then the ball deserves to be slapped away, and that is a recovered fumble. It is. That's a bad call by the officials. Now, we always talk about how defenses don't know how to stop the tush push. I don't believe that the officials know how to call the tush push. They don't know what to do. If they whistled the play dead, he clearly didn't have a first down, although Dable did rightfully challenge it, and they said, no, he did. Makes no sense. The only reason he got the first down because he was reaching. And once he's reaching, then the ball was slapped away. That's a fumble. It's a recovery. It's a bad call. But I'm sorry. That's not why the Giants lost. Might it have been closer than 18 points? Maybe. Barkley shredded them after they shredded him at MetLife. 150 yards. Second play of the game, he ran over 60 yards. They were not stopping him. Tank Bigsby, 104 yards. So I know we always want to talk and complain about officiating. We want to put everything on the officials. And I'm admitting they weren't very good. It's not why the Giants lost. Giants lost to a better team. Giants had it figured out 17 days ago at MetLife. Then they were completely demoralized by the fourth quarter in Denver. And they didn't come out and play great yesterday. And on top of that, they lose Cam Skattebo. That's a lot to digest. It wasn't on the officials, my friends. It wasn't. That's not why they lost. They lost because they weren't good. They didn't play well. And I think that loss, that fourth quarter in Denver, affected them. And that is a little bit of a litmus test of the head coach. How does he rally the troops after such an awful loss? He didn't. They didn't play well. They didn't. So, just an awful day for the Giants. Awful. And for the Jets, awful day because of the loss of Nick Mangold. But on the field, they do get a win. Wasn't a perfect game, but it was the last laugh for Justin Fields. It's interesting. Does Woody Johnson apologize? Of course, rich people don't apologize. Billionaires don't apologize. Their billions allow them to make statements like that and never have to say, I'm sorry. You know how they say love, the love story? Love means never having to say you're sorry. Being rich means never having to say you're sorry. They're not beholden to anybody. They have more money than you, and that's all there is to it. And they're not going to say, listen, I was wrong about Justin Fields. It was not a good look for the Jets. It was not something that they should be proud of, the way Woody Johnson spoke about a current player on his team. And to give credit to Justin Fields, he handled it about as well as any human being could handle it. He was great. He didn't strike out at Woody, didn't say anything. He said he wants to play better. Didn't say yesterday, take that, Mr. Johnson. Didn't. Said all the right things. Said about how he was hurt, in his closet, crying. He showed his vulnerability. And he also showed on the field that he can play a little bit. Just a little bit. Is he the quarterback of the future for the Jets? No, he's not. Is he quarterback of the future for anybody? I'm not sure. Doubtful. I'd like to see him, though, in a big situation. Maybe O'Connell in Minnesota. Maybe Sean McVay in L.A. Maybe Shanahan in San Francisco. Put him with this offensive genius. Let's see if they can solve him. Because there's talent there. We know he can run. All right, it's time for the co-host. 1-800-919-3776. That's the number. 1-800-919-3776. So as I wait for you to call in and we open up the phone calls, I do want to hang on the rim just a little bit. I gave you two winners in my two-pack for sure. And I am now 10-6, which I think is just tremendous. Thank you, Tom. Now let's compare it with our great afternoon show. Alan Hahn was 0 for 3 this weekend. Alan's now 9-15. Don actually was 2-1. He's 11-13, closing in on 500, but not really sniffing it. And then Peter is 1-2, and he is 7-17. And then you got the Caster sitting here at 10-6. I mean, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself, and I should be. Because when you're good, you're good. When you're good, you're good. Let's go to Bob in Vermont. Bob.
Hey, Michael K., how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I met you a long time ago. Remember you when Don Manley came in the car, right? The cab? And he wouldn't sign the boy's autograph, but you and John Sterling signed the autograph for the little boy. I'm very impressed with you, Michael K.
Thank you.
And also, it was sad to lose Skattebo yesterday. I'm upset about that, too.
Yeah, I think anybody that's a human being, anybody with a heart, I mean, how do you not feel awful? This guy plays with heart and passion. And, the tackle by Zach Bond, was it, one of those drop hip tackles? I'm not sure. They didn't call it, but the ankle went one way, the leg went another. It's just awful. It's the part of football that you hate. I hate the old saying, well, it puts everything into perspective. Well, that's football. It doesn't put it into perspective. That's football. They're going to be horrific injuries. People are going to get hurt. They put their body and soul out on the field every single game. And when they take that field every single time, they don't know if they're going to be hurt to an extent that they'll never play again. You could actually lose your life. I'm not being dramatic. Football is brutal. The things that people do on the football field, the strength, the speed, and to see an ankle just snap like that, wow, it's hard to take. It's hard to take. So yeah, absolutely, you should feel that way. It was that sort of an injury, and also a rookie who's been doing everything right. He's captured the imagination of the fan base. He's tight with the quarterback. He's at Madison Square Garden the other day for the Knicks home opener, and the crowd gives him a huge ovation. When the Giants beat the Eagles on Thursday Night Football and he ripped his shirt off, I mean, he He caught the imagination of a lot of people. And then to see him get hurt like that, again, you can't say it puts it into perspective. It tells you what football is. It doesn't put it into perspective. It tells you what football is. It's a brutal, vicious sport where a leg could snap in half, where a mind could be scrambled. That's all there is to it. It's awful, and it can be worse. So let's hope that Cam Skattebo has a quick recovery, but he's got a long road ahead of him. He had surgery last night at a hospital in Philadelphia. Imagine that. You walk into the link thinking, can we take 2 in a row from the Eagles, and you get carried off on a gurney, and then you spend the night in the hospital where they have to perform intricate, delicate surgery. Terrible. Hey, Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 8 p.m. Game Time. Game 3 of the World Series in L.A. between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Coverage will begin at 7 p.m. right here on ESPN New York. You could watch it on Fox. That series is tied at a game apiece. And the Dodgers had a lot of trouble getting through customs. And there was some whining going on that, was it the Canadian government making it tough on them? But if you're going to the United States, it's United States customs that you're dealing with. It's not the Canadian customs. You deal with Canadian customs on the way in. On the way out, it's United States customs. 8 p.m., the Nets are in Houston to play the Rockets, and that game can be seen on Yes. Nets still looking for their first victory. And at 8:15, the Commanders are in Kansas City to play the Chiefs, and you could watch that game on ESPN and also ABC7. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew. Try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. All right, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We'll talk to Steve Young in a moment. Knicks lose to the Heat yesterday, missing an awful lot of threes. Brian Kelly fired as the head coach of LSU, but a nice gold watch, $54 million. A lot of people are calling for Adam Silver to lose his job because of the gambling situation going on in the NBA. I have a little bit of a different feel on that. Aroldis Chapman, in an interview, said that he would never play for the Yankees again, ever. And if he was ever traded to the Yankees, he would pack his bags and just retire. He said that he felt a lot of disrespect with them. Yeah, a lot of disrespect. They paid you top dollar. All you did was blow big games. You had to actually go on the IL because you got an infection on a tattoo that you put on your leg during the season, and they gave you a lot of disrespect. Maybe he's saying all that stuff because he's a Red Sox now and he knows that's going to play in Boston. But really, disrespect, all that money? They traded you for Gleyber Torres, and then they gave you all that money to come back on a 5-year deal. Mike Brosseau, walk-off home run in the playoffs. Altuve, walk-off home run in the playoffs. Gave up a lot of big hits, Aroldis, and now you're going to say that the Yankees actually they disrespected you. I'd like to have instances of how they disrespected you. Did you disrespect them, deciding to go get a tattoo in the middle of a season, having be infected, and then the team loses you for a long time? That's a little form of disrespect too. But listen, if I knock what he said too much, then I'm Yankee boy. But it just comes off as somewhat disingenuous that he felt disrespected by the Yankees. All they did was pay him a truckload of money and tell me the time that he saved the big game. Tell me. 1-800-919-3776. Coming up, Steve Young, his weekly segment here on the show. It's the K Show, and you know the deal. We're on until 3. Hey, the FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets. From yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right. You can get in on the action with a 30% PBT tonight during the Chiefs-Commanders game. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/K to bet on the game. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hyundai with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Can the Jets build off their comeback win in Cincinnati?
These are the games that I really can tell the mental and physical toughness of our team.
How can the Giants overcome another key injury on offense with the loss of Skattebo?
Yeah, I was devastated. It's my boy, man. So seeing him go down, that sucks. It's the worst part of this game.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
This October, the only thing scarier than missing the game is missing out on a brand new Kia. At Kia City of the Bronx, 3505 Connor Street is where the ghosts of old rides get traded in and new legends are born. They've got a monster lineup of new Kias that'll take you from tailgates to haunted houses in style. Visit KiaCity.com or call 646-917-7955. Don't get spooked, get moving. Kia City of the Bronx, where Halloween meets horsepower.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Fight fans, Bud Light and ESPN New York are sending you to UFC at Madison Square Garden. Tap the Bud Light tile on the ESPN New York app and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets in the ESPN suite. Catching the action alongside me, Peter Rosenberg. Through November 7th, listen and enter through the Bud Light tile to score your shot at the ultimate fight night. Bud Light is the official beer of UFC, so make your move now on the ESPN New York app. Must be 21 and over. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Rules on the ESPN New York app. Please enjoy Bud Light responsibly.
John Ryan.
Yeah, Dad.
I think I came up with a killer slogan for our law firm. D'Agostino and Associates, bite back.
Bite back?
Yeah. When someone hurts you, you bite back. We'll be the law firm that bites back.
Dad, that's brilliant. Accident victims, call D'Agostino and Associates and bite back. Hey, we could even put a big vicious dog on billboards everywhere.
Yeah, and Rottweilers on buses.
Hey, how about a toll-free number?
What are you thinking?
You know, like 1-800-BITE-BACK.
1-800-BITE-BACK. That's brilliant.
But what if people hear fight back?
Easy. I'll spell it out for them, like 1-800-BITE. Back. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Love it. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
All this talk about biting back got me hungry.
Me too. Want to grab lunch?
Sure. Hey, how about a jingle?
You mean like D'Agostino, law, bite back?
What is it that makes the all-new Hyundai Palisade hybrid an incredible SUV? Is it the spacious interior that's comfy for the whole crew? Or the capability to go off-road? Maybe it's up to 600-plus miles of range. Is it the driver behind the wheel? What if it's all of that and more? What is it then? The all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid, so much more than just another SUV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. That's 562-314-4603.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Told you the Knicks lost to the Heat 115-107. They missed 39 three-point shots. 39. 17 more. They took 54 threes. That's 17 more than the Heat took. Work in progress as the Knicks try to find their sea legs with this new pace offense. It's Monday, about 1:30. That means we get a chance to talk to the Hall of Famer Steve Young. Love talking with him, and he joins us now on the show. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Michael, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Not as well as Justin Fields. I love the way he reacted to what Woody Johnson said. He didn't strike back at him. He just went on the field and did his job. And I know you've always been a fan of his.
I am, and that makes me more of a fan because it's so easy to play the victim. It's so easy to be victimized by so many things that you can't control in football, especially a quarterback. But you can never allow it because in the end, I always say the truest truth is that the quarterback has the ball in their hands, and that's why you're ultimately accountable no matter what. And so I love that. I mean, Woody he's got his own issues. I wish he'd face them. I wish he'd be more vulnerable, recognize that we've got a serial series of events that he's authored that he's got to own at some point. But I love that nobody, and especially Justin, didn't bite on it and just let it be and just went and played football. And you could see the emotion. You don't realize how hard it is to play, when you're not winning. The season is so long. The pressure mounts so great. It's like you can't, it's just warrior. I know people think, oh, you're a loser. You what have you done? What have you done for me lately? You're terrible. It's all that kind of stuff. But the actual human part of it as a professional athlete is it is so brutal and so difficult. And then you got to rise up. And that's why yesterday was such a beautiful moment, right? Because it's a warriorship of how painful it is, and you get a minute of reprieve because you do something really cool, especially in the face of your owner saying something bad about you. So I got some emotion for that one.
Let's talk about the things that Woody said, because obviously you didn't have those stretches like that Justin has had. Did you ever take a time during the last couple of days or so to think, what would you have thought if Eddie DeBartolo had said those things about you? I mean, the owner's supposed to be on your side.
Well, remember that Eddie's in the Hall of Fame for a lot of reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is that he was the first owner in sports history to look at players as partners, like we're in it together, and built that kind of camaraderie and feeling. And he used to say, whatever you need, I don't care what it is, I'll give it to you, but then you got to be champions. And so we just built this strength and bond. And so if he would have, said something to me, in the locker room or sometime, or called me to his office and say, hey, look, or called me on the phone and say, hey, look, I want to talk to you about it, I would have completely respected that. But to have none of that and then have him just blurt out something in the media, that would have been super painful. And I don't know, maybe I'd be pretty pissed, to be honest with you.
Now, I heard some of the stuff you said over the weekend. It looks as if the Jets are going to go 15 years without making the playoffs, and the one constant is the owner. Do you think that he's the issue, Steve?
Well, how could it not be part? I mean, I don't know. It's so hard with equity owners in the game today because there's nothing you can. There's no recourse. There's no eventual accountability because the league is built off of what I think is a genius move back in the beginning to share all proceeds, equally.
Mm-hmm.
in that way, that's the power of the NFL, and I give them great credit for that. But the thing that it doesn't handle is, kind of equity accountability, where the owners, like in many ways, whoever the owner is, they're not under the gun, because if their business, it's a business, right? They own a business, and that business is guaranteed, and especially as the NFL continues to thrive. The equity, let's think about it. Equity values have gone up $500 million for 25 straight years. No matter what, no matter if you win or lose, you could lose every game. It doesn't matter. Your equity value is going up $500 million, and then not even away from the money that you're making. So, it's hard. It's hard to hold people accountable. And then in the game, that on the field is so accountable, so perfectly accountable, because you have 80,000 witnesses, and you have a score, and you have a defined field, you're lined with and a clock, and it's the elements of truth that come out on the field are what I always said. If it happens on the field, it's truth, because there's no liars. You can't be not accountable. It's the ultimate accountable space. And so it's just this odd juxtaposition with the equity owner who's not accountable, who can't be held accountable. And that's just a tough, it's one of the weaknesses, but it doesn't show up much because the NFL is just so amazing. I wish we could hold people accountable for years and years and years of poor play, because they're the ones that are, in the end, it's kind of like the quarterback. There's a quarterback, there's a head coach, there's a general manager, and then there's the owner. All of them are ones that should be saying, in the end, it's all my fault, right? Because I'm ultimately accountable. And that's why you have a quarterback saying it. That's why you have a coach saying it. That's why you have a general manager saying it. And that's why the owner's got to say it. And then tell us what you're going to do about it. We can't fire you. We can't, and that's why it's so hard. But at some point, you've got to have at least a conversation around the vulnerability to say, what am I doing so wrong for so long and so much pain for the Jets? You got to, at some point, you got to be able to have that conversation.
And the amazing thing, Steve, is that, he bought the team, I think, for about $900 million 20 years ago, and it's worth $10 billion.
Perfect timing.
$10 billion, and they've won nothing. Rex got them to 2 championship games.
That's right. Again, it's like we can complain about it. It's one of the beauties of why the NFL is so powerful, is because they decided to do that. So you've got to recognize that. Some of the reasons why the NFL is great is because of that very reason. But it has a weakness. It has a flaw, and the flaw is holding ultimate accountability to performance on the field. But we can't. Look, we're spitting in the wind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not going to, you can, but at least you can recognize it. At least recognize it. And maybe if someone sees them on the street, say, hey, Woody, I would love to figure out a way to see how we can, can we do a 360 review, where you go and figure out why you can't hire good, what's wrong with just the carousel of failure. At some point, what are you doing that we can change and get better at?
Now, the interesting thing is, he pretty much threw Justin Fields under the bus, and I believe that Justin Fields wasn't going to start if Taylor was healthy. And I never understood that, Steve, because there's so many more questions to ask about Justin Fields. We know all the answers with Taylor. We know what Taylor is. He's a 36-year-old quarterback. Why do you think they were going to bench Fields? I know he was awful, but there's more there to be seen, and the Jets aren't going to win anything this year. I thought that, maybe the football god stepped in and said, okay, Taylor, you can't play. We're going to give Justin Fields another chance, because I don't think Aaron Glenn was going to.
Remember, the coach, the quarterback, the coach, and the general manager, probably in that order, are held accountable. I mean, the quarterback's on the field, he's got the ball in his hand, so he's going to be, you can't get away from it. The coach is next, right? And the general manager is next. And so when we talk about that trio, how they handle pressure, how they handle failure, how they handle their own fear about their own jobs, right? Because it's such a transient business. You can't, the owner can never be held accountable, and the coach is held accountable like day to day, it feels like sometimes. And so under that kind of scenario, coaches don't make the best decisions all the times, because they're worried about their own jobs, right? They've got all these other things going on in their head. The media is just pounding. That's the one thing that's so hard is like the owner doesn't have to face the media and face the, they don't have, like, the coach and the player every day. There's an open locker room. You got to, and then questions, and like everyone's human. So you get this feeling of when you're victimized. You're like, I'm a victim of it. And now what do I do? And you do irrational sometimes things. You look back and I can't believe I did that. And that's not irrational to bench a quarterback when not playing well. It's totally rational. But in this situation, look, I guess I'm a Justin Fields believer. I'm just going to tell you, that. I think as a human, as a player, as a talent, I really want him to get the help so that he can learn to be a sophisticated passer. I think he'd be a phenomenal player.
Now, he said also after the game, he was very raw and open, saying that he was lying in his closet crying. Did you ever have moments like that where things were so tough, where when you play for Tampa Bay or in the USFL, did you ever have moments like that?
Yeah. Not as much as when I had moments trying to replace Joe Montana. Like it's the human drama and the day to day and the yes. And I love that vulnerability. I can't believe he shared it, because a lot of people think like that's a sign of weakness. But I'm a big fan of authenticity, and I don't know, it just makes me think more of him because I know how tough-minded he is. I know he's somebody that doesn't, he pours himself into the job every week, every day, and that's the kind of guy I want to back. And look, there's only a few spectacular quarterbacks every generation, so it's a really hard job to be really great at, and a lot of people don't get there. But I don't. But I always honor the quest, right? And I think Justin could get there under certain circumstances, but the quest is what I love too, and I want to honor that as well.
All right, before I let you go, I think I've asked you this question in some iteration or another over the years, but let me ask it again. You're the Giants, this young, strong running back gets his ankle snapped where his foot is at just an unbelievably grotesque angle. How do you deal with that as a player, thinking that could be me?
You live in this space, Michael, where you've played since you were a little kid, and you're so used to, just the facts, like the risk. And the risk is something that, that you assume, like you understand it, you understand your body, you understand that things could go haywire, but you never believe it'll happen, or else you couldn't go play.
So you're lying to yourself.
But
essentially, I don't even mean that flippantly.
No, I'm not lying to myself, Michael. You pretty much caught me on that one. But that's just a fact. You don't believe it's going to happen to you. And I think because you don't believe, a lot of times it doesn't happen to you. I don't know if anyone's a skier, but you're skiing down a mountain and you got to learn to get off your feet. You get into a bad spot, you're in a bad situation, get off your feet, protect yourself. And so in that way, you believe that you can go out there and take the risks and you can figure out how to protect yourself. And I think that belief, even though you say it's lying to yourself, is how you stay healthy in that way. And then every once in a while, something really weird happens. I'm very grateful I played all those years and nothing really weird happened like it happened to Cam yesterday. It happened to Fred Warner last week, where you're just in a funny spot and it catches you just right. There's nothing in the world that you can do it. You can be the most amazing athlete in the world. It catches you and it does something really terrible. And so that's it. When it happens, you immediately say, well, I see that as a possibility. That's why head injuries, Michael, I don't want to open up a whole huge can of worms here, but that's why head injuries are such a different thing, because the assumption of the risk is so unclear. Mm-hmm. Like, you know that you can go snap your ankle. You know that. You know that you can blow your knee out. You know that, like, deep down, you're not lying. You know it's possible. But head injuries, you just don't know what the assumption is. What matters? What is CT? Another mm-hmm. huge thing to open up. But I think that's the problem with head injuries, because you just don't understand. Even medicine doesn't understand exactly what's going on. So I guess we lied. But I think that's how you play. is that you believe that you can keep yourself healthy, despite the fact that you know bad things can happen.
Well, I know you definitely talking from the heart and the truth, because I remember I used to ask Al Leiter, when you deliver a pitch, you're 50 feet from home plate, and there's this big, hairy guy that can hit a ball 100. I said, are you afraid of getting your head taken off and getting killed? He said, you can't think about it. You just can't think about it. He said, it's a possibility, but if you think about it, you can't perform.
You can't perform. You can't. I'm telling you, Michael, you cannot play football worried about getting hurt.
Right.
You'll get hurt. That's exactly how you get hurt. That's exactly how things go haywire. And so that's why I think there's so much to learn from sports, and especially football, because it's so physically challenging. The job is to take someone to the ground and to ram into each other. That's just so unique that how humans deal with it is really informative and tells you a lot about, like people say, about grit and stick with, and how faith and belief that you can do the job. It's like just showing up in some ways. That's why I have a lot of grace for professional football players, because it takes something special to just put the pads on, the helmet on, go out and do it. And I'm not going to get sappy about it, but I think it's a real thing, and that's why I tend to give a lot of grace to football players who are out there trying to do something great, especially when that's the other thing, is I was on a terrible team that went 2-14 I played one season with the Bucks, or 2-14, and it was like, you guys are losers. And I remember thinking to myself, because it was the first time I'd ever gone through anything like that in my whole life, and I remember thinking to myself, have you met James Wilder? Have you met Jimmy John? Do you know these guys? These dudes, these are not losers. They lost a lot of games. They are not losers. And I think that's also something that just, for me, I remember from my time in a really bad spot.
Great stuff. You're the best. Thank you so much, Steve.
All right, Michael. Appreciate it, buddy.
Be good. Wow, interesting stuff. And really, you have to have a courage that I can't even imagine. I mean, if you've ever stood on the sideline, even for a college football game, forget about an NFL game, and you see the speed and the strength and the violence of the collisions, it takes a certain breed to have the courage to stand up there and do it. Hey, YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN. We'll come back. Time for the co-host, 1-800-919-3776, The K Show, right here on ESPN New York.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today. 1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it. When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Looking for the best internet deal? It's just a fast phone call away. Only Optimum Fiber Internet delivers the fastest and most reliable fiber internet starting at just $40 a month. That's right, lightning fast fiber internet at a price that won't slow you down. Call 888-4OPTIMUM today to lock in your offer in just a few minutes and see how you can also get the Disney Plus Hulu bundle and an unlimited mobile line on us. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Terms apply.
Murray to the net. Score!
The New York Islanders are back in action with a brand new theme night schedule you won't want to miss. Bring your friends out for the holidays and take home a custom holiday replica jersey or arrive early for special bobblehead giveaway nights for Matt Barzell and Bo Horvat.
Barzell for Horvat. Score!
Explore the full theme night schedule at NewYorkIslanders.com.
Rich Eisen here for Sonos, the speakers that bring every game to life in my own house. With studio quality sound, Sonos makes you feel like you're right there in the stadium. Whether you're cheering on your team, binging your favorite show, or listening to the hottest songs, Sonos fills every room with incredible sound. Setup is easy. Just plug in, open the Sonos app, and you're ready to go. Want stadium quality sound at home just like me? Because I love Sonos. You will too. Explore soundbars, speakers, and more at Sonos.com. Sonos. They look as good as they sound.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network so you can talk college football with your BFF while taking Buster to the vet.
Hey, yeah, I can't believe he ate the whole thing of chicken wings.
And I can't believe we're staging a comeback. Touchdown!
Yes!
Yes!
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. For wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers, must be connected to impacted tower at onset of outage. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for full details.
The city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports. ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Me and you for 2. That's the way it works. 2 hours of the fastest 2 hours in sports talk radio. Lead you right to Don Hahn and Rosenberg. Speaking of Don, do you realize that as the play-by-play voice of the New Jersey Devils, he's 8-0. They played 9 games. The only loss was a nationally televised game, which he didn't do. 8-0. He's been sticking a lot of pitchforks in him. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Good old Donnie. Doing it right. Hey, New York soccer fans, the Audi 2025 MLS Cup playoffs, they're here. On Saturday, November 1st, New York City FC returns to Yankee Stadium for Game 2 of their best-of-3 series against Charlotte FC. Kickoff is set for 3:30 p.m. For your chance to be there, enter now at ESPNNewYork.com or through the ESPN New York app. Just click the contest tab and submit your entry. Don't miss this opportunity to experience playoff soccer as the boys in blue begin their chase for the cup. Tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com/NYCFC. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Vinny in Staten Island. Vinny, talk to me.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Vin?
All right, Mike. I got a few things I want to break down for the Jets.
Okay.
Breece Hall is 24. Braylon Allen is 21. Isaiah Davis is 23. Garrett Wilson is 25. Mason Taylor is 21. Justin Fields is 26. You got a nucleus right there. You go out, you get the best wide receiver in the draft this year to complement Garrett Wilson. You get rid of the Williams brothers on defense because they're just, especially Quinnen, he's done. And you build off of Justin Fields. The kid can play. You've seen it yesterday, and they got to go out and get an offensive mind. They got to go get an offensive genius. If they're not going to get rid of Aaron Glenn, obviously, but go out and get an offensive mind that knows what he's doing. Thank you, Michael, for the call. I appreciate it.
You got it. But if you get an offensive mind, that offensive genius, the next job that he wants is a head coaching job. So he's not going to come and be the offensive coordinator for a defensive-minded coach. It's going to be tough. You hope that Engelhardt does the job and comes up with creative stuff like he did yesterday. But yesterday, the defense was the problem. And that's the one thing I would warn about. You're looking at all the good. I don't know if they have the proper personnel for the way that that Aaron Glenn wants to play. And although Breece Hall is young, he's due for a contract. Do they want to pay him all that money? Now, there's about 8 days before the trade deadline, or do they trade him for some draft capital? That's the big question that they have to answer. What do they do? Because if they keep him and then they don't sign him, they lose him. I guess they could tag him, but do you want to pay that much? It's an interesting conundrum. And that's quite a leap, though, Vin, to say that Justin Fields is the answer. Now, I think there's more there. Hall of Famer like Steve Young thinks there's something there. But I don't know if I'd say, because he had one good game out of 5. Like he sat one game. But because of the concussion. One good game out of 6, should I say. That he's the answer? No, I don't think so. I can't go there at this point. Joe in West Harrison. Joe.
Mike, get out. How are you, buddy? How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Good. I just want to jump on, especially the last caller. How could this person say that Fields is the nucleus going forward? He was benched, you even said it, at 4-2 by one of the best coaches in the league, if not top 3. He's not the future. And you're right, the defense was pathetic last night. I'm sorry. They need so much more. I mean, I wanted Aaron Glenn. I'm glad he got his first win. I don't know if he's the answer, but the offensive coordinator is off the Ben Johnson tree, is he not? So he's more than qualified, I would think. But they need much more they got now.
It's funny. Engstrom's had some bad games too, and yesterday was a good game. He was imaginative. He used the running game, which is what they want to do anyway. But the thing that I take note of, the old saying that you don't lose your job because of injury. So Justin Fields started last year for the Steelers because Russell Wilson was hurt. He went 4-2. Then when Russell Wilson was healthy, they gave him back his job. What was alarming to me is that when Russell Wilson was terrible in the last 5 or 6 games of the year, they never went back to Fields, ever. So, you could say that Justin Fields is the answer. I think it's almost a sure thing that they draft a quarterback. A sure thing that they draft a quarterback. I don't think they're looking at Justin Fields as the answer, especially the way the owner said what he said, which was just dreadful. Shame on Woody for doing that. I mean, there's ways to build up your coach, and you could say, listen, I think that Aaron Glenn's doing a great job. Our offense is struggling right now. We've had some struggles with the defense, but for the most part, he's instituting what he needs to do, and I believe in him. Instead, you zero in on the quarterback. A lot of people weren't playing well, and Justin Fields wasn't playing well. The days of that being effective, like they were when George Steinbrenner owned the Yankees, where he would kill players in the press, it doesn't work now. It destroys. It doesn't build up. It doesn't motivate. Back then it was, I'll show you. It's not that way anymore. That's why coaches are friends more than General Patton. They're not that way anymore. That's the wrong tack for Woody Johnson to have taken. Now you can say, hey, it worked. But did it? The guy was going to be benched if it wasn't for Taylor being hurt. So it wouldn't have worked. He would have been buried on the bench, and you would have wasted $30 million of your money. $15 million a year guaranteed. $40 million in total. And the one thing I would continue to come back to, you want to compliment Aaron Glenn. He's doing everything right, but you don't like the quarterback. Who picked the quarterback, Woodster? Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. They picked the quarterback. So you can't be that high on your coach and down on the quarterback because the quarterback didn't sign himself. We'll be back.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
There he goes to the 20, 10, 5. That's a Jet touchdown. That's a Jet touchdown.
Jets fans, be there at MetLife Stadium to see the New York Jets take on the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, November 9th at 1 p.m., presented by Verizon. Don't miss your chance to experience the excitement of game day at MetLife Stadium and cheer on your Jets. Lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets and get ready to clear the runway.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Harry Douglas here. Look, being a man doesn't mean skipping self-care. Manscaped makes it easy to feel confident, clean, and ready for anything. Whether you're at work, hitting the gym, traveling for business, or heading for a night out. The Lawnmower Trimmer gives you precision, the Beard Hedger keeps your look tight, and their grooming essentials smell incredible. Manscaped's tools are built to perform, helping you stay sharp, smooth, and feeling your best every single day. Because real confidence starts with a clean cut and the right gear. Get all the Manscaped products you need right now at your local Target.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager, hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. World Series Game 3 is tonight. And if you listen to me at the beginning of the World Series, I gave you the key. So let me repeat it. When the Blue Jays can foul off pitches and make the pitcher work and get the starting pitcher out of the game early, they will win that game. The Dodgers don't have enough in their bullpen to cover a lot of outs. So that worked in Game 1 against Blake Snell. That worked in Game 1. Game 2, it almost worked because they had Yamamoto on the ropes. They had him on the ropes, and they couldn't put him away. They had him throw a lot of pitches in the first 3 innings, and you could see him being out of there in the 6th. So if he was out of there in the 6th and the Dodgers would have had to get 9 outs out of their pen, I don't know if they'd have been able to do it. So Yamamoto did what he had to do. He retired the last 20 batters in a row. After Alejandro Kirk hit a sac fly to tie the game at 1, he did not allow another base runner. And he did it economically. He did it in a way that shut the Blue Jays down, didn't allow them to use their most important tool, which is the ability to foul off pitches, because he was so nasty. And they won 5-1. So the Blue Jays blew them out in game 1. They lost 5-1 in game 2. Yesterday was a travel day, which was supposedly a bear of a travel day for the Dodgers. And tonight, you would think that the pitching matchup favors the Dodgers. They have Tyler Glasnow going. And it's Max Scherzer going for Toronto. I don't know on a game-to-game basis what Scherzer has. He's 41 years old. He pitched okay against Seattle. I thought he pitched pretty well. He had that stare down with Schneider on the mound. We'll see. We'll see if he could do that against a really good Dodger team. Dodger team can hit, especially the top of the order. So if he can give them 5 innings, maybe they can cover it in their bullpen. If the Blue Jays could get to Glasnow, knock him out in the 6th inning, again, the whole key, getting into the Dodger bullpen, which is fascinating to me because the Dodgers won one way last year, and they're trying to win a completely different way this year. Last year they won because of their bullpen. There were so many bullpen games that they had, and they still were able to win the World Championship. This year, after spending so much money to make the bullpen even better and stronger and more stout, the bullpen's terrible because of injury and because of ineffectiveness. And they babied their starters. They didn't rush back Ohtani. They didn't push Glasnow. They didn't push Snell. Now, Yamamoto's been a constant for them, and you could see why the Yankees offered him the contract they offered him, the highest average annual value. Yankees offered him 10 years, $30 million, $300 million. The Dodgers offered him 12 years, $325. And the Yankees would have gone higher. Obviously, Yamamoto wanted to be with the Dodgers. And that's where he ends up, and this is his 2nd year. He's going to finish probably top 5 or 6 in Cy Young voting. He's a special player. Yankees and the Mets both went hard after him. But what they did was they created a starting staff that's fresh because they didn't push them. They didn't push them to come back from injuries. They had a subpar regular season, nothing to be proud of, nothing to flex over. And here they are, 3 wins away from going back-to-back. Now, there was something that was very interesting to me that I saw in the New York Post yesterday. And we've been saying this a lot, too, that Brian Cashman has said that the postseason is a crapshoot. And I guess somebody with the Yankees did some research, and they can't find any instance of Brian Cashman ever uttering the word or the phrase crapshoot. Now, I don't know if that's a defense of Brian, because the funny part is that Hal Steinbrenner has quoted Brian Cashman as saying, well, Brian says it's a crapshoot. So although we can't find any instance of Brian saying it, we do have the owner of the team saying that Brian has said it's a crapshoot. But the funny part about the story in the Post is that you have this whole story about how Brian never said the word crapshoot, but he did say there's a randomness to the postseason. Now, I know I didn't go to an Ivy League school. Florida's a pretty good school. Randomness and crapshoot is about the same thing. And I don't have to sit here and tiptoe around Brian Cashman. I like Brian. I think Brian does a good job. But he has, there are several instances where he has come out and said there's a randomness to the postseason. That equals crapshoot. So although there's no instance, we can't find any archival footage of him having uttered the word crapshoot, he has many times uttered the word randomness. So I'm not quite sure what that story was about. What did it prove? Because if you are in fact saying that something has a random variance to it, then that's a crapshoot. That's a nice, classy, erudite way to say crapshoot. Because if there's a randomness to the postseason, and there's not that same randomness to the regular season, then you're operating under different parallels, postseason and regular season. I've given this analogy several times. I'll say it again. The most brilliant analytics work over a longer stretch of time because it will prove out over a longer stretch of time that if you do it this way, this is what will happen and it will benefit you. But if that same information is doled out over a best of 5 or a best of 7, it might not play out. It might not play out. Therein goes the crapshoot aspect. So again, I'm not quite sure what that was about, but it was certainly out there, and it was put out there for a reason. Maybe Brian's just tired of people saying that he said that the postseason's a crapshoot. So we'll take his word for it. We'll take whoever researched that. Dan Martin wrote the story, but he did get a hold of Cashman. And again, the owner has quoted Brian as saying that it's a crapshoot. The guy who said crapshoot first was Billy Beane. The Moneyball GM from the A's. And what Billy was saying, I think he said it he called it a crapshoot, and he said, my bleep doesn't work in the postseason. Again, random variance. It might not work over a short stretch. It works over 162. It always does. That's why the Yankees have a very bright front office and a very smart and intuitive analytics group. And they do essentially make the playoffs every single year. So it works over 162. And last year, it almost worked to Game 5 of the World Series. So it's kind of interesting that, we're fighting over semantics. 1-800-919-3776. Time for the co-host. Let's go to Greg in Connecticut. Greg.
Hey, Michael, thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
You got it. What's up, man?
All right. With the injury to Cam Skattebo, should the NFL look at going to grass fields with the injuries that are happening in the NFL today?
Well, I've always thought they should look into it. They claim that it's not a danger to play on artificial turf, but it's funny because these same stadiums that will not go full-time to grass, they are going to grass for the World Cup because soccer players will not play on artificial turf. That's not the way the game is played. I'm not sure if Skattebo doesn't hurt himself on grass rather than the artificial turf of Link. I'm not quite sure. But grass is more forgiving. That maybe it would give and the ankle would then give. Artificial turf it's hard underneath that fake grass. But I guess there's an economic aspect to it as well, where if you look at Pittsburgh's field, they play the Steelers play there, University of Pittsburgh plays there, and they have to tear up the field like 4 times a year. So that costs money. It's all about money. Whenever you want to wonder about something, just look to the wallet. That's usually the reason that it's going the way it's going. Let's go to David on the east side. David.
Michael, before I make my point on the Knicks, real quick on your Yankees point. In the Aaron Judge era since 2017, we've beaten every lower seed in the playoffs and lost to every higher seed with one exception, 2022 Cleveland. What does this tell me? It's not as much of a crapshoot as you think. Our regular season performance has kind of tracked expectations in the postseason.
I guess, but I mean, the Yankees, okay, so if we look at it that way, the Yankees had a winning record against 500 teams this year, teams that are over 500. So you're just saying,
they did,
so they lost to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays essentially, they both won 94 games. So it's not like you lost to an overwhelming favorite. Right?
Yeah, I think so. But the Blue Jays also had our number all year. It's just all I'm trying to say is I think the goal should still be to be the 1 seed every year and not just try to be a playoff team. That's right.
Oh, I agree. I think that was their goal. That's why they played as hard and they played their regulars right through September, because they wanted that number 1 seed. They realized how important it was. So I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah. I don't think that their aim each year, David, was to just get into the playoffs. They want to win the division because, I mean, you want to win a series without playing, which is what a bye does. And also you want to have home
fair
field.
Enough. So maybe we are on the same page. I do want to make my Knicks points if that's all right.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Knicks shot 54 threes last night, which was a franchise record. I get it. That's the NBA in 2025. But I don't believe that's what this roster was built to be. We're not the Celtics and we're not the Warriors. So let's just pour one out for Tom Thibodeau, who was like one of the last real NBA coaches. There was something special about the idea of winning it all under Tibbs. It would have been a huge FU to load management, to three-point shooting, in a league where players don't want to be coached. So look, we're only 3 games in against the Heat, but what I saw yesterday from Mike Brown, if he's just trying to turn the Knicks into a regular three-point shooting team, I don't like what I saw.
Well, I mean, it's interesting to me, David, and we're going to have to see how it plays out. What pace means. So does pace mean that they're going to fire up as many threes as they can? I don't know if they're a team that's built like that. I mean, they've got some three-point shooters. So when Josh Hart is on the court and Mitchell Robinson's on the court, you're playing 3-on-5 when it comes to offense. Josh isn't a good three-point shooter. Mitchell Robinson's a terrible three-point shooter. So I don't know, like with the Celtics, when you had Al Horford on the floor, he was a three-point shooter, so you weren't giving away a player, so to speak. Maybe it was just a one-off. Maybe that was just one game, because they have not been three-point dependent in the first couple of games before that. Yesterday got out of hand. They fell behind, especially in the fourth quarter, and they're firing up threes. It didn't work. I mean, you can't hit that few threes and miss 39 of them. So that means so they took 54. That means they made 15 threes. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. The math doesn't work there. You got to shoot about 40% from three to have the math work. That's not 40%. Let's go to Juan in White Plains. Juan, talk to me.
Hey, Michael, thanks for taking my call. If no one told you today, allow me to tell you that you are the man, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Michael, I'm not a Giants fan, but I wanted to call in today to let you know that injury to Cam Skattebo can be solely placed on the Giants coaching staff.
How so?
Okay, they're asking Cam Skattebo to bash his head in on all these run plays all the time, and also they're asking him to perform wheel routes over the middle. High level of coaching and player management, right? To have guys prepared to perform their roles. It was overutilization. No one's talking about it, but that wheel route over the middle is essentially, Tyrone Tracy's route, right? And then you mix and match. But I've been watching the Giants use Skattebo now for like a month, and they drive this kid into the ground. They ask him to do all these things, and honestly, I think that was the last straw yesterday. Was asking Cam Skattebo to go over the middle on the wheel route after bashing his head in like.
But you keep bringing up bashing his head in. That's the type of player he is. That's what he does. That's what he did in 2 separate stops in college. That's what makes him different. He's like a battering ram. So you don't. I mean, I always worry about Cam Skattebo getting hurt, not having his ankle snap, but having his brain scrambled. The guy does not avoid contact. He initiates contact, and that worries me over the long haul. But you're saying they haven't bashed his head in. That's him. That's who he is. That's who they drafted. That's who they scouted. That's who the guy that played in college. They're not asking him to do anything he hasn't done before. He's that sort of player. So you're going to sit here and complain because they're asking him to be the player that he's been? That's who he is. I'm sorry, that's who he is. It's kind of sketchy argument, Juan. I'm not quite sure where you're going with that. It's not a Giant coaches. This is a dangerous sport. And I'm not being cold about it. This is a dangerous sport. You're going to get hurt, especially the way he plays. So you're going to protect a player from himself? Then what's he bringing them? Really, what is he bringing them if he leads with his head? That's who he is. Have you ever seen him try to avoid a tackle? No. He wants to embarrass the linebacker or the guy in the secondary. He wants to roll all over them. That's what he wants to do. Let's go to Christopher in Long Island. Christopher.
Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Yesterday I was watching the game with my 16 and 14-year-old kids, and who are unfortunate to grow up as Jet fans.
That's your fault, right?
And it is, but they learned from their cousins who are 24 and 28.
Okay.
Also Jet fans. They've lived a life. They haven't seen wins. Their parents who are 43 and 46 were Jet fans. We had neighbors come over who are huge fans of the Jets. They're both 17. They're twins. They're 17 years old. They've never seen a winning season, as long as they've been watching the team. Their parents who are 49 and 51, not once, for as long as they've been watching the team, just to see this club come together and have a winning season is just, my grandparents or my parents who are 79 and 82, both are diehard Jet fans, and it's kind of rolled down to my brother. He's 42. His wife is 47.
I don't need all the ages, Chris. I don't need everybody's age. So what do we got?
Well, it's just ridiculous, the fact that, I'm 43. My wife is 41. Never.
Okay, I'm out. I mean, listen, what's that company that does genes and stuff? I forget the name of it, where you send the DNA them. I mean, really, he gave me the ages of everybody in his family. He sounds like a night. What was that, Tom?
Ancestry.com?
Yeah, it feels like I'm doing a bit on Ancestry.com. My mother's 79. My father's 82. My cousins are 25 and 20. I mean, really, who cares? You had a point to make. What it said on the screen was, why should Woody apologize? Because he should be a human being. You never got to that, but I'll help you along after we got through all the ages. Because everybody in football has annihilated him for what he did. Everybody who covers the Jets, the only guy who defended him on NFL Countdown yesterday was Rex, because Rex has a relationship with Woody. Alex Smith absolutely destroyed him. Said it's terrible what he did. I don't think Woody is evil. I don't think he's that guy. I think he's kind of like almost Mr. Magoo. Like he's clueless. He's not evil. I don't think he said that to be evil. I think he thought he was being clever, and he kind of talks in tangents, and it got to the quarterback, and he threw him firmly under the bus. So it would be a good look for Woody. There are people that work for the Jets. I mean, we were connected to the Jets for the entire run when we had the afternoon show. And there are great people there. Unbelievable people in their PR department, their front office. They're helpful. They're really kind people. Somebody should be able to tell them, Woody, just say, listen, I made a mistake I shouldn't have said about the young man. It would make him look better. But it shows you there's a tone deafness to Woody. Remember when he had that Zoom press conference, and the woman that was moderating it kept saying Ambassador Johnson? It's tone deaf. Being an ambassador, you didn't do anything special to be an ambassador. You donated to the right guy who became a president. So there's nothing to hang your hat on or hang on the rim about that you actually have to be referred to as Ambassador Johnson. There's so many missteps like that. That's my point. There's so many missteps. Ambassador Johnson? Mr. Johnson. You buy your ambassadorship. It's nothing to be proud of. You think that Donald Trump picked Woody Johnson because Woody Johnson was the best person to actually be the point guy in dealing with the people in England? No, because he was a big contributor to the campaign, and that's what politicians do. They reward their supporters with ambassadorships to nice cities and countries. So when you have a Zoom call, I guess it was the Robert Saleh thing when he fired Saleh after 5 games. That was smart. Ambassador Johnson, stop. Made him look bad. What he said about Justin Fields makes him look bad. And I don't think he's an evil guy. I think he's Mr. Magoo. That's what I think he is. He's Mr. Magoo. Hey, YouTube TV customers, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN. We'll come back. This is the Michael K. Show. We roll till 3 right here on ESPN New York.
Monday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Can the Jets build off their comeback win in Cincinnati?
These are the games that I really can tell the mental and physical toughness of our team.
How can the Giants overcome another key injury on offense with the loss of Skattebo?
Yeah, I was devastated. It's my boy, man. So seeing him go down, that sucks. It's the worst part of this game.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Why do you go to Princeton Longevity Center?
We go to Princeton Longevity Center because my husband's cardiologist told him having this exam saved his life.
Because somehow 20 turned into 40, and now I need to take my health more seriously. The Princeton Longevity Center designed a program to keep me healthy and active, so 50 and 60 will be no sweat.
Because even though my cholesterol is high, it turned out my arteries are clear. That's a big relief.
Whether you want to make the most of your future years or just want peace of mind, you need the Princeton Longevity Center. Their comprehensive preventive exam combines the latest technology with caring experts to create your personal plan for staying well.
Because I shouldn't have to wait an hour for a 10-minute physical. I go to Princeton Longevity Center because I get everything done in one day and take my results home with me.
Find out why you need Princeton Longevity. Call 888-8000-PLC or go to PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. Call 888-8000-PLC. That's 888-8000-PLC.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
Fight fans, Bud Light and ESPN New York are sending you to UFC at Madison Square Garden. Tap the Bud Light tile on the ESPN New York app and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets in the ESPN suite. Catching the action alongside me, Peter Rosenberg. Through November 7th, listen and enter through the Bud Light tile to score your shot at the ultimate fight night. Bud Light is the official beer of UFC, so make your move now on the ESPN New York app. Must be 21 and over. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Rules on the ESPN New York app. Please enjoy Bud Light responsibly.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
The fall is here and Halloween's right around the corner, which means the cold weather is coming. And that's why now's the time to fill up with Romeo's Fuel. Fill up before it gets too cold. Now is the best time because prices are still so low. Romeo's Fuel makes it easy for you to keep your house comfortable and warm in the coldest months. Get discount home heating oil from the best in the business. Order online at romeosfuel.com for the best and lowest price on home heating oil. That's romeosfuel.com, romeosfuel.com, romeosfuel.com.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
They say a full marathon is the ultimate test. For me, it's more than a race. It's a milestone I once thought impossible. Michelle Smallman here, and I'm running my very first marathon in New York City with the support of Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assists powered by Parity. Together, we're empowering girls and women through sports and education, with grants to 32 organizations in 21 states. Every step I take is for the finish line and for the next generation chasing their dreams. Here's to 26.2 miles and a future with no limits.
Paying extra for tire care is BS. You know, bad service. So at Midas, we're rolling out our BS-free tire guarantee, included with paid installation and tax on every purchase. You'll pay nothing for flat replacements, nada for flat repairs, and zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles. That's $0 for all that. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the BS-free tire guarantee, only at Midas.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Hey, ESPN New York is giving you the chance to experience UFC 322 at Madison Square Garden on November 15th. One grand prize winner and a guest will score tickets to the ESPN New York Suite hosted by Peter Rosenberg. Enjoy the energy of the Garden, the comfort of a private suite, and world-class UFC action alongside one of New York's biggest sports personalities. Wait, I thought they said Peter was there. To enter, find the contest tile on the ESPN New York app to submit your entry. It's brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer of UFC. So there seems to be a cry about Adam Silver losing his job over what's happening in the NBA, that he got them involved in getting in bed, so to speak, with the gambling sites. And I roll my eyes at all criticisms of commissioners. Like, commissioners work unilaterally without anybody telling them what to do. They're not a king. They're not a president. They are somebody hired by the owners to make them the most money possible. That's what they are. Adam Silver didn't have this epiphany, hey, let me sign deals with FanDuel and DraftKings, and I'll put my league in peril. No, he's guided by the owners to do that, who vote on those decisions. And if he says, I don't think this is a good idea, you know what they do? They fire him. I love all the criticism of these commissioners as if they work without any checks and balances. They work under the desire of the owners to have them work. I once saw a commissioner, a well-respected commissioner, in a situation where there was an owner of a team of the league that the commissioner, I'm being as vague as possible, the league that the commissioner was the head of. And the owner walked by, snapped his fingers and says, now. And the commissioner jumped up and ran after him. Now, you would think, well, that could never happen to the commissioner of the sport I like. It will, and it does, and it always will, because they are beholden to the owners. You're going to blame Adam Silver because of their relationship with the betting sites? Adam Silver is going to make a unilateral decision to absolutely not take the money from the betting sites. I mean, are you people kidding me? And then to actually say that what's happening, or what could be happening in the NBA right now with all these allegations and charges and things like that, that it's because they're in bed with the sites. Really? Who was Major League Baseball in bed with during the White Sox scandal? Was it legalized gambling then? The New York City college basketball scandal in the 50s. There's no FanDuel or DraftKings or Bet365. The Boston College scandal. I mean, are you kidding me? That's why these players are doing it? The poker game that they're alleged that they brought, marks there. That has something to do with legalized gambling? That's illegal gambling. Chauncey Billups got involved, allegedly, with an illegal poker game where he got rubes to come in and lose money because of a deal with FanDuel? Come on, man. You guys are just grasping. You're trying to make A equal D or 1 + 1 = 4. You know who loses money on apps? Poorer people. It's pure greed and badness of the players if they are in fact guilty. A guy makes $25 million who makes himself get injured accidentally, actually falsely, so his friends and him can hit the under. That's a bad guy. That has nothing to do with that app. Because there were over-unders and prop bets and illegal gambling too. Well, Silver sent out a memo, according to Shams, earlier, and this is essentially what it said. Given the spread of legal betting in the majority of U.S. states, the occurrence of integrity issues across sports, and the emergence of novel betting formats and markets, this is an opportune time to carefully reassess how sports betting should be regulated and how sports leagues can best protect themselves, their players, and their fans. While the unusual betting on Terry Rozier's unders in the March 2023 game was detected in real time because the bets were placed legally, we believe there is more that can be done from a legal regulatory perspective to protect the integrity of the NBA and our individual leagues and our affiliated leagues. In particular, proposition bets on individual player performance involve heightened integrity concerns and require additional scrutiny. We have also begun a process of reviewing league policies regarding injury reporting, the training and education of all NBA personnel, and safety measures for NBA players. With sports betting now occupying such a significant part of the current sports landscape, every effort must be made to ensure that players, coaches, and other NBA personnel are fully aware of the dire risk that gambling can impose upon their careers and livelihoods, that our injury disclosure rules are appropriate, and that players are protected from harassment from bettors. We also are exploring ways to enhance our existing internal and external integrity monitoring programs to better utilize AI and other tools to synthesize all available data from betting operators, social media, and other sources to identify betting activity of concern. Get rid of prop bets, number one, and have the coaches stop being geniuses where they're trying to hold out an injury so the other team doesn't benefit from that information. The second that an injury is decided, that's when it has to be done. That's why in Major League Baseball, you see teams that take forever to get a lineup out. Forever. There has to be a cutoff time for when your active players that are able to play have to be announced. Where your starting five in the NBA has to be announced at, 5 o'clock. And no bets can be made on over-unders until 5 o'clock. Same thing with Major League Baseball. Get the lineup out at 4 o'clock for a 7 o'clock game. That's plenty of time. If you don't know by 4 o'clock, then that player is not going to play. And no bets can be accepted on any of the apps until the starting lineup is out. Easy, right? Nice and easy. Let's go to Frank in New Rochelle. Frank.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Hey,
just
Frank.
A quick comment. R.I.P. Rest in peace, Nick Mangold. He was a warrior and a great Jet, and obviously a great family man with 4 children. So prayers to his family.
Absolutely.
Back to Adam Silver. I agree with you totally that he shouldn't be fired, but I guess they have to reevaluate. He has to take a little heat from the owners. I like your thought about, sometimes don't you hear on any of the sports, Mike, especially baseball, basketball, game time decision with the athlete, whether he's going to play or not. So when we're going to put the lineups up at 4 for a 7 o'clock, which I like the thought, would that still take into account a player who's working with the trainer and like 2.5 hours later at 6:30 he can play? How do you think that would work?
Well, I think it would be difficult because let's say you've got a player that's important, and you're not sure if he's going to play. Well, you know what? Then make it a new part of the game. They can be used as a pinch hitter, but the lineup that you put out has to be the lineup that's played. It has to be at a certain time, and you can't take bets on over-unders for home runs or for hits or for strikeouts or anything like that until that lineup and your active roster is put out. But most of it, Frank, I'm telling you, it's gamesmanship. That's all it is. That's all it is. There's some managers that don't put out their lineup until 6:10 because they think they're solving the world's issues. They're curing world hunger. And I understand it's a serious business. It's a multi-billion-dollar business. And you want to win games because if you win games, then you have a chance to keep your job. But we're dealing with extraordinary circumstances now. So when injury information gets out before the public gets it, not good. Not good. How about doing this? Don't take bets on games till the games start. Or till 5 minutes before the game. Prop bets. Injuries play a huge role on whether or not to put money on a team. A gigantic role. You can't ignore it. You shouldn't ignore it. It's a big part of gambling. It's a big part of Wall Street. You know what? There's such a slight difference between insider trading and just getting information. Having the right people in the right spots. What's legal, what's not legal. There's a very thin line. It's a tightrope that you're walking. I think that you want to get rid of a lot of the negatives going on. Get rid of prop bets. I mean, look at the two Cleveland pitchers that are on administrative paid leave. People were betting on whether or not the next pitcher was going to be a strike. Stop it. Because you can get to a player. Because a player who's not that bright might think, who's getting hurt if they bet that the first pitch is a ball and I throw it 2 feet outside? Who's going to be hurt? I could still strike out the guy. Everything has to be on the up and up for a sport to survive. Now, do I think that if the stuff with Rozier and Billups and Jones turns out to be true and that they're guilty, that it destroys the NBA? No, I don't. I think that's an overreaction. But you do not want a sport to turn into the WWE, where the results are not legitimate, they're scripted. You don't want the public to lose trust in your product. You need the integrity of the sport to be intact. That's why there's that big sign in every single major league clubhouse. You cannot gamble on baseball. Maybe, just thinking out loud here, the way to get rid of this, you don't allow any player to bet on anything. Because the more they bet, if they get themselves into a hole, the more susceptible they are to throwing a game to get some of the money back. If you're a football player, you can't bet baseball, hockey, basketball, college sports, and you can't play poker. You can't play organized poker games. Try that on for size. And the players are going to rebel because there's a lot of dead time when you're an athlete and you're on the road. Can't go into a casino. Officials can't. Referees can't. The more you keep players away from doing stuff that could put them in a financial hole, the less likely they are to get involved in a situation where they have to throw a game or throw a prop in order to make some of that money back. There's ways around this. But again, it's hard to legislate stupid. And it's hard to legislate against evil. Because some people are just dumb and some people are bad people. No matter what guardrails you put up, They'll find a way around it because they're just bad people and they do bad things. And that's been around since the beginning of time. Bad people do bad things, and there's no way to stop them. Once it happens, you could punish them, but there's no way to stop it from happening because evil people are going to do evil things. And the more guardrails you put up, they'll figure it out. Once again, one of the most awkward transitions of all time. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets. From yards to touchdowns to who will win, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right. You can get in on the action with a 30% PBT tonight during the Chiefs-Commanders game. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/K to bet on the game. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
The Association on Aging in New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
This October, the only thing scarier than missing the game is missing out on a brand new Kia. At Kia City of the Bronx, 3505 Connor Street is where the ghosts of old rides get traded in and new legends are born. They've got a monster lineup of new Kias that'll take you from tailgates to haunted houses in style. Visit KiaCity.com or call 646-917-7955. Don't get spooked, get moving. Kia City of the Bronx, where Halloween meets horsepower.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same-day and next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. Jay Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement, plus a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments, or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Looking for the best internet deal? It's just a fast phone call away. Only Optimum Fiber Internet delivers the fastest and most reliable fiber internet starting at just $40 a month. That's right, lightning fast fiber internet at a price that won't slow you down. Call 888-4OPTIMUM today to lock in your offer in just a few minutes and see how you can also get the Disney Plus Hulu bundle and an unlimited mobile line on us. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Terms apply.
Harry Douglas here.
Fellas, it's time to step up your grooming game. Manscaped just leveled up with the Lawnmower 5 and the Chairman Plus, two powerhouses built for unmatched precision, comfort, and control. Whether you're cleaning up before a night out, preparing for a big meeting, or getting ready for a game day, Manscaped has the tools to help you look and feel your absolute best. These aren't just old school clippers. They're engineered for modern men who take pride in their daily routine. So upgrade your grooming gear and experience the difference. And now you can find Manscaped products at your local Walmart.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, all veterans, active duty, and their families can become members and enjoy exclusive benefits. With the Cash Rewards and Cash Rewards Plus cards, you can earn a $250 cash bonus when you spend $2,500 in the first 90 days. Plus, you can earn up to 2% unlimited cash back. Offer ends January 1st, 2026. Join now at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Cashback terms and conditions apply. Visit NavyFederal.org/cash rewards for more information.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
So we had somebody call up earlier and say that Skattebo broke his ankle because of the artificial turf at the link. Well, the link is 95% real grass, 5% artificial. So I don't know if he was on that 5%, how that works out. And, you know, you could get hurt on grass, too. Tyreek Hill suffered almost the same injury in Miami, and that's a grass field. I don't think there's any way to stop injuries in football. Football is a violent, vicious sport. High speed, high strength collisions. It's going to happen. And certainly I feel for Cam Skattebo. I feel for the Giants. You know, he's an important part of what they're trying to do. Took away a big weapon from them. And he's going to be gone for the rest of the year. And you hope that he can come back and be the player that he was. That's a brutal injury. Brutal. So 95% grass, 5% artificial turf. Let's go to Sam in Connecticut. Sam.
Hey, Mike, I was just wondering, they obviously were able to flag the Rozier outline betting.
Yep.
With the technology we have now, can't we just allow the books to null and void anytime there's an extreme outlier like that?
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. So, I mean, maybe that could be a deterrent because they did flag it. The thing that people are getting on Silver about is that they investigated Rozier and they let him play. Although he didn't play, and he didn't play in the playoffs either. And Miami made a trade for him, too, when this stuff was being investigated by the league. So you wonder if Miami has a kick coming on this as well. And then Brian Windhorst, who was on with us on Friday, he initially reported that the league kind of made Rozier sit out with an injury when he wasn't really injured, but he has backpedaled on that because the league said that didn't happen. It's a mess, man. There's no way around it. We're not putting lipstick on a pig here. It's a bad look for the NBA. And it's a bad look for these specific people, too. I keep reading about what a great guy Chauncey Billups is. He's top of the line. Brian Windhorst even said it. He used to work at ESPN. And I've read other people say you wouldn't meet a finer person. I'm not saying that he's not a fine person. But if these allegations are true, how could you put him under the heading of fine person? Listen, if he was recruited by organized crime to bring in marks into their big poker game, that's one thing. But if he did that and then played in the game and knew that the games were fixed, then under no stretch of the imagination is he a great guy. He's a bad guy. Again, this is what he's alleged to have done. He has the right to defend himself and see if it's going to hold or not. But be careful about like stepping out and saying, oh, what a great guy. Now, I saw a lot of that with the Mark Sanchez stuff. And I talked about it on the next show. How people can't stop themselves from like tweeting out stuff in the moment so they could be the first one to say something. And all of those people have gone dead silent after some of the specifics of what happened when Mark Sanchez came out. There are some people that you might think are great people. They might live right next door to you. And they could get arrested for insider trading. or doing terrible things. How often do we hear somebody who mowed down their own family? Wow, he's such a good guy. Never would have expected it from him. It's the people that you don't expect that do bad things. You never hear somebody go, yeah, I knew the guy. I could definitely see him snapping like that. You never hear that. You only hear, he was a great guy. What a great family man. Who knew he had 15 families buried in his basement? So I'm going to reserve judgment on Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier and Damon Jones until we see what the courts say. Then we'll know for sure if they're good guys beyond reproach. We'll check it out then. Until then, let's hold up just a little bit. All right, Don Hahn and Rosenberg coming up in just a moment. You definitely want to stay tuned for that. We'll be back again tomorrow at 1. And in the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for a goodbye again. See everybody. Have a great afternoon.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers, from scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failure.